Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I want to appreciate you so much because of your great support. Please consider subscribing to this channel if you have not subscribed to. Now, the Bishop of ACK, Sapit, has come out to tell Kenyans the reality. And the reality is about the unrealistic promises that William Ruto came out giving Kenyans. And also some unrealistic promises that Azimio came out giving Kenyans. When I watched a video here that I want you to watch, Sapit came out giving a storm in his speech as he regards that William Ruto should come out, and he must come out to tell Kenyans the realistic truth behind the promises that he came out giving Kenyans. So I want you to watch the video, and I want us to have a candid discussion, and also it's a very simple question. Why is it that at this time, Sapit has come out to realize that William Ruto was unrealistic when it comes to his promises? So watch that video, then we continue.
Even as a country, let's ask ourselves, are we on track? Even with the whole discussion of the budget making, and the quest people are saying about the taxes, we have to ask ourselves, is that the right thing to do? Are we on track? Will that give us the right, the right results? So that if we find it may not give us the right results, it becomes, the progress will be, we stop and say, how do we move forward? I've also been calling our leaders. I know you make heavy promises during campaign. And we knew most of them were unrealistic. For sure. I used to remind, don't think that because if you follow the promises of all Azimio and Kenya Kwanza that time, it was like whichever wins, by October Kenya looked like a little heaven. Because the promises were so heavy that everything is sorted out. So it is now a moment to face the truth. Just come out and tell Kenyans, the promises we made are unrealistic. Now let's go to prioritization. This is our priority number one. Priority number two, put aside until we get enough, then we can now go to priority number two. But if we try to push, to achieve what we promised, and we all know that we have nothing to deliver the promises, then we are going to break everybody's back. You will even break your back, struggling to make happen what it can't happen. So let us just humble ourselves, face the moment of truth, and say, ndugu wenzangu, hii ndio ukweli. This is how we look like. We have to live within our means. Now we are going to reschedule our promises. Some are going to the next term or the other term because we can't deliver now. The priorities for this term are this and that, and we can be able to manage our country's affairs.
So I think you watched the video, and after watching the video, I think number one, you must ask yourself, why is it that Bishop Sapit has come out to tell us that William Ruto, some of his promises was not realistic? Why at this time? Why should he now come out to tell us that William Ruto should come out to tell Kenyans the truth? And this was the truth that we were saying before even William Ruto took over as the president. When you see these individuals are coming out to storm the street and also storm their statements, and also to put certain kind of doomed kind of conversation towards William Ruto as the president now, it is a clear path that William Ruto, his promises is not going to be fulfilled. When you look at several promises that he came out telling Kenyans, some promises he came out telling Kenyans within 100 days, he was going to fulfill them. When you look at the high cost of living, for example, the price of unga. The price of unga was going to be lowered within 100 days. The police officers' salaries were going to be increased. I want to tell you, do you remember when Rigathi Gachagua came out during when Raila Odinga took a petition to the Supreme Court? He came out that Raila Odinga was delaying them taking over the office, and they were having an agenda of increasing the salaries of police officers. What went wrong? Secondly, the same Rigathi Gachagua came out saying that they were looking forward to reduce the price of unga at 70 Kenya shillings. What happened? The same people came out complaining that the handshake between Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga made everything to be so high. As we speak now, Uhuru Kenyatta is not holding any public office. Raila Odinga is not in any kind of handshake. It is William Ruto, Rigathi Gachagua, those who are spreading lies about Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga. Now they're coming out to tell Kenyans that give us time, give us time. Stories after stories, narrative after narratives. Do you believe that these people have an agenda? They have any cause that is going to change something that is so important to Kenyans? I want to say no. Why? Because the narratives that they came out telling Kenyans, now it is so difficult for them to come out to retract how they can now reverse what they told Kenyans. When you look at also the budget bill of 2023, when you look at the way things have been proposed to be increased, prices like, for example, the price of fuel. I remember very well, the Ndindi Nyoro, who is now the current, the chair business committee, I think in National Assembly, and also is the current member of parliament of Kiaru constituency, Murang'a County, came out saying during the budget bill of Uhuru Kenyatta, he said that it was so pathetic and was not so good to Kenyans to accept an increment when it comes to the price of fuel, the price of unga, and other commodities. What went wrong? As we speak now, it is Ndindi Nyoro, whom, when you look at, even he is holding a chair of business committee in National Assembly. So it means that he has influential kind of character that when it comes to his proposals might be accepted. What went wrong? So when you sum up this kind of rhetoric stories that these people had, trying to convince Kenyans so that they can be elected, now they have the office, they have instrument of powers, they have all kind of things that they wanted. But now, as we speak now, the criteria they used now is so difficult for them to reverse, because what they promised Kenyans, it seems like difficult for them. Something that also has come out to create a lot of conversation across the social media is that people are asking, why is it that now churches are coming out to realize that this person that we were dealing with, William Ruto, is so different person as we speak now? It's not only church, but also some individuals like Dr. Seth Panyako has come out to realize that this person that we were dealing with during the campaign period is not the same person that we are having. It's a different person we are having. So is there any kind of criteria that Kenyans can adopt, or rather, can they have another, alternative to make them to realize that these people, they don't have any cause, they don't have any prospect to make what they promise Kenyans to be actualized, because it is so difficult. When you look at even the price of fuel, it's so difficult to drop the price of fuel. It is so difficult to drop the price of unga as we speak. It is so difficult to reduce the price of sugar as we speak. Even despite people are making noise, it will be so difficult still for the government to come out to actualize some prices of certain commodities. I've realized that some of them are coming out to say that let us give this government 2 or 3 years. We'll be almost to another election. So which 2 or 3 years you want? Because now it's almost, we are almost 1 year. We are almost 1 year. Then we are just remaining with 4 years. So when you tell us that let us give the government 3 years, when you add with this 1 year, it will be almost 4 years. People will have already started going around the country, consolidating the base, organizing themselves, regrouping themselves, having their camps, campaigning. So this time is too much. Let them, whatever I'm encouraging this government is one. Let them try at least do something that is positive, that is going to impact Kenyans positively. Let them not come out to hear these too much of noise. You know, one thing that I could have even told William Ruto is this one. If truly he is having an idea to change narratives in this country when it comes to the price of unga, I saw him coming out to say that to subsidize unga cannot make the price of unga to be lowered, which according to me, I'm against that, because you cannot at the same time fund the farmers and at the same time you want the farm produce to come out immediately. It will not be possible. Why should you come out to take almost 10 billion or 9 billion Kenya shillings, fund or subsidize the fertilizer, you fund the farmers, and some farmers, for example in Rift Valley, they always plant maize once in a year. When they are planting maize, for example January or March, they always harvest during the December, like other regions, where some parts of the country, they always harvest twice a year. So it will be so difficult for William Ruto to come out to tell us that he is funding these farmers who are planting maize once in a year, then he wants a return immediately. It will be so difficult. For him, the best thing to do is to subsidize. At the same time, he is funding the farmers. So as he continues to subsidize the unga, that period where he's waiting the farm produce to come out, it will be so good for him. He has make a certain arrangement to impact Kenyans positively to ensure that we are going to afford unga. So this bishop or Archbishop of SK, or Sapit, has come out to tell us the truth that now let us speak the realistic things. It is impossible for this government to fulfill certain promises. What are your thoughts? Drop your opinion at the comment section below. Otherwise, thank you so much because of great support. Please consider subscribing to this channel.